I actually don't know. The concept that trans women are women, right? I am all for, I will argue to the end of the earth that I think it's okay to redefine the word woman and man to include trans women and trans men respectively. I think that's a perfectly logical thing to do, and I think I can argue that very, very easily. There is no harm in doing so, and it just improves the lives of like everybody else. People will give me the argument that it's like, oh, it's biology, you can't do that. It's like, well, it is biology, but we're not redefining biology. We're redefining what we're categorizing. Like the word when we say what is a man, right? We have grouped a bunch of people that fit a certain category and then call them a man. That's what we do, right? So as a human, that's what we did. That's how we got the term man in the first place. Like if you take away all humans in the world, the concept of male and female disappears because animals don't really like. They don't have that in language. So what I'm saying is that we could very easily just say, right, if we just change the definition of trans women or women, what's the fucking harm in that? Like, what goes wrong there? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, no one's harmed. It's a win-win. Like, there's no fucking harm. And if you can post to me a bunch of fucking harm it's caused, then we can maybe talk about it. But until then, I'm not interested, you know? But that being said, as of this actual moment, right, I'll defend that to the death, right? But this is where I get called transphobic, because as of this moment, are trans women actually women and are trans men actually men at this point? That's a really hard question. I don't know the answer to that, because I think for a definition to work of what we're using, we have to have an agreement of what language we're using. And right now, the world cannot agree on what a woman actually is, because half the world wants to include trans women and half the world doesn't. So because we can't agree on the language, it's very difficult for me to sit and turn around and answer that question like directly, you know? Like, I would like them to be women. I would like to say, yeah, of course you're a woman. Yeah, it's fine. I don't care. Live your life, be happy. Because that's why, at the end of the day, right? That's why we created these categories. Every single category that we made was to include, it was just made to include whatever we want, and nothing in science says that we have to do that, you know. But so you asked me one question now started now, you know. Oh, Thomas, hello.
Except for like the quantum physics of like.
I'm answering a question from the stream. Just let me answer it first, then you can give your bullshit take, right? So
that is not bullshit take.
That is an absolute bullshit take, Thomas. Okay, I'm also recording this one. Thomas, I don't answer a question. I actually created a second video. I'm recording a second live video right now because I actually need to answer this question. I think it's really important, right? So you can troll afterwards.
What's the question?
Yeah, are trans women? And I don't know. Okay, I'll get back to what I was saying. So I think that I'll just repeat it. I think that we should absolutely redefine the word of man and the word woman to include trans men and women, right? I think we should. I think this is something we ought to do. I don't think any harm comes from it. And I think it's a very simple thing to do. It's not difficult, and I don't think any damage comes from it, right? So it's a win-win. And the problem is right now, like if you ask the question right now, half the world can't agree on what a fucking woman is. Half the world thinks that trans women are women Half the world thinks that this is not the case. So because like half the world, because we can't agree on language has to be like agreed upon by everybody. So because we can't agree on what these fucking words mean, it puts everything into contention. So while I absolutely think that we should change the definition of man and woman, because at the end of the day, you'll always have these people that will say, "Oh, you're redefining biology." It's like, no, like at the end of the day, like if you boil this all down, when we say what is a woman, we humans have created this category for like our utility sake, to make things easier and to make everyone happy, right? That's why we have a definition for everything. If we didn't do that, why don't we define everyone by the number of moles, or by the number of bruises, or by the number of freckles? Like, because it's pointless. We don't need to do that. It's stupid, right? So if we redefine these women terms, I have no problem. But right now, is a trans woman a woman? I don't know. Because right now half the world doesn't agree on what a woman is, so I don't know how to answer that question. I don't actually know. Okay, so that's basically it's a really tough one. What do you think, Thomas? Are you gonna sit here and tell me that all trans people should be burned or something, or?
I actually feel like my answer is quite. What do you call that word?
Logical.
No. What is like not philosophy?
Bear in mind this is on stream, so like don't go crazy. But yeah.
What is the one that ends in X? Like, so you have philosophy.
Philosophic. What do you mean? But what do you mean ends in X in philosophy? What?
I didn't say. act like I really nothing. You know what? Fucking oh.
So at this point, Thomas has already given up, and he's about to give some really ridiculous answer. We hear this now. I know, but that's just the way I think about it. I just don't think that like what like if we like I don't honestly I don't see the problem in calling.
Where the hell did you get this question?
Well,
Oh.
but I definitely think that there's absolutely no harm in doing that. The only thing is you'll have all these people that will sit here and like say, well, if you're redefining terms, like yeah, but we redefine what a phone means. Like everything changes over time. Like what the fuck? Like,
B-I-O.
no, we have redefined what a phone is. Like a phone now doesn't mean what it meant like 30 years ago. Like they're completely like they mean something different now.
Does
Like
it?
yeah.
I still call it a phone.
I still call it a phone, but what I'm saying is what we define, what we consider a phone has changed over the years. When you used to say phone, like a phone before would never have had, for example, a phone in the past would never have had internet. So like when you say now get your phone, 30 years ago, if someone says get your phone, it means go and get a landline that can only make phone calls. Now when you say get your phone, it could be for a text message, for internet, it could be for a million different things. While the basis of a phone is still there, our understanding of what a phone is has changed because we've changed it. And then we can be the exact same with any word in the history of the English language.
This is why we need a Hunger Games.
But it's pointless unless it's absolutely pointless as to everybody has to agree on what a certain word means, and because we can't agree on what a woman or a man is, like it's impossible to go anywhere to get. We have to have a definition of what these things are. But as of this current moment, if you go by the whatever dictionary definition, I still don't know the answer. If trans women are, I still don't know. It's like I hate to give you a stupid answer, man, but like that's the truth. It's one of those things because we can't agree on the language. Like you can't get an answer, unfortunately. But I absolutely think this should be the case.